What's up, XFL Nation? This is Bird Gang 114. This is Ed.
I'm Cam.
And today we're going to do a recap of the week one of the XFL. And we're going to talk about the games, the rules, the broadcast, what we like, what we didn't. And we'll start off with game number one, which was on Saturday. And that was the DC Defenders versus the Seattle Dragons. And my take on it was I definitely thought DC was the better. Going into it, I thought they were the better team, and after watching the game, they definitely were to me the better team.
I would say they were definitely the better team also, but a lot of turnovers for Seattle. I think that's kind of what made the game also look like that. If they lessened the turnovers, I think it would have been even a closer game than it was. The score was 31-19, so it was close.
That's correct. I liked DC's quarterback, Cardale Jones.
Yeah.
He was good out of the pocket. He was able to make plays, not only with his arms, but with his feet. He definitely had a couple good receivers there.
I was going to say he got those receivers, Eli Rogers and Rashad Ross.
Yeah, they made
and
big
that
play
tight
guys.
end, the big tight end.
Yeah.
I call him Mr. Big Tight End. He looks like big and runs big. So
yeah, they were. I mean, Pumphrey from the Eagles. He unfortunately didn't do too much, which we didn't expect he was going to do too much. I did like out of all the broadcasting on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was my favorite one of all. I liked how they had the guys on the sidelines, in the locker rooms, getting players in and out, doing the QB, talking and hearing the miking. I thought they had the most energy.
I was gonna say they definitely had the better broadcast, and it was just perfect. I liked this one better than everything. Once we saw Fox on the next game, it was just
a letdown.
A letdown. Yeah,
I thought that that was a perfect game for the inaugural weekend. It was just a good game. There was plays all over the field, and the hitting.
Oh my God!
There was some serious hits in that game.
I can't believe it. On that, it was like if it was an NFL game, there would be no way.
There would be way more. I know there would have been way more penalties and everything. It was just finally good to see some nice hits. I enjoyed that too. But like I said, there was a decent amount of big plays. My expectations were kind of like a medium for it, because I was like, okay, they've only had so long that the team could practices, but they played well. You could tell it was professional football. And I thought it was a great game. It was exciting. There was a lot of times where we were like,
yeah.
It was a great game.
I was getting a little bit nervous because if you saw the last video, my team's DC so far. I already picked them, and I was like, oh, this ain't looking so well, but they end up winning. So they were a better team, but I was getting a little nervous.
The quarterback for Seattle, Brandon Silvers, if it wasn't for the turnovers, it would have been all right. I mean, he had some playmakers too, like Bird, the receiver. He was pretty good. That Austin Prohl, Ricky Prohl's son.
I was going to say, that guy had a good time.
Some good plays. Yeah. Also, Reynolds, the wide receiver, was good. The running back, Williams.
He has good stops and all that, but they should use him a lot more, I felt like. Yeah. They only used him like a couple of times. I was like, this definitely was their guy. I thought they should have used a lot more.
That's a team that, could be something at the end of the season, but you could tell that DC is going to be there.
Also, when the Seattle Dragons, they have a lot of tight ends, 5.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of injuries, but something's wrong with their medical staff.
Yeah.
But,
But I thought, their defense played pretty good as well. And I liked the trick play DC had.
Oh,
the double reverse with the pass for a touchdown. That was awesome.
But I didn't feel like we talked about the most important, how the fans... Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that was over like almost 18,000 people.
But like the crowd was going into that. Yeah. I thought that was amazing, and I felt like, wow, this is you got some fans into it too.
Yeah, it was
watching
really good.
It was great.
And then the second game of the day was the Houston Roughnecks versus the LA Wildcats, and to me, Houston.
Houston looks like the best team.
Best team
in my
for sure.
opinion.
That guy, PJ Walker, the quarterback.
MVP already.
Oh, dude, he should be the face of the XFL. That
Definitely.
guy it was great. I mean, that tape that he put out in just that one
No,
game
just that.
should
First,
get him
what?
back in the NFL.
Second
no problem.
the second play of the game, 50-yard touchdown to Cam Phillips. I was like, oh!
And it was
a
multiple
deep bomb.
touchdowns.
But that was incredible. Like, it was like he had perfect strength of the throw too. It was like no
on.
problem.
You could tell that this guy was
good
like
accuracy.
You could tell
too.
this guy could be a pro. I mean, he's definitely could be on one of these NFL teams as a second or third quarterback somewhere. That guy was actually really good.
So this game was close until the second half. The LA gave up. The score was 37-17.
I blame the coach for that.
I blame the coach because of switching quarterbacks and all this. But they still gave up, though, I felt like, even if they kept the quarterback. But still,
They took out their quarterback, Charles Candoff. And
he only had like 5 practices, right?
Yeah, he just got on the team. But I would say that, the receivers on Houston, like Cam Phillips, were good. Sammy Coates, the ex-Steelers player, he made some plays. And my favorite one was that number 33, the guy that had the 3 torn ACLs, and he had a broken back.
There was that one hit, and he made that amazing catch off of that. Yeah, it was amazing.
And they asked him why he still does it. He goes, for the love of the game.
And that's great.
That's great. That's what you want to see.
I was going to say, that's what you need.
But on the Wildcats, you got...
There's definitely some people I kind of like.
The corner, 27, Miller.
Yes. I think he was probably one or second best corner I've seen, and
he had good coverage through the whole game. And then...
the Jordan Smallwood, the tight end, I think he was not bad. He took a couple of hits, though.
That one shoulder shot.
I'm not sure if you're going to take that down on him on the catches he dropped because of those hits.
He took some hits.
But he made some good plays, though, I thought.
And then their go-to guy looked like it was going to be that Nelson Spruce, number 11.
Definitely.
He had a connection with that kid. But I think they have their quarterback was out. He's the one that from Navy. I forget the guy's name. But they're going to be a different team too once he comes back. But I think that's the team, right?
I think so.
They had to trade for this guy he only had 5 practices with him. And they played pretty good. They were in it, like I said, second half. And like I said, I blame the coach for that because Winston Moss, for what reason did you pull him out? It made no sense. He was making plays. There was some turnovers.
Yep.
And I think those were I honestly think that after watching that game, Houston is the best team.
Oh, definitely. Out all of the 4 games we saw, I would definitely say Houston was the best.
And then that leads us to Sunday's game where the Tampa Bay Vipers, they were like the chosen NFC East team. Everyone's like, oh, they're so good. They're going to be great.
Definitely, yeah.
They're going to have 7 wins and all that. And they went to New York Guardians, and they were given 3.5 points to the Guardians, and they got their ass whooped.
They really
it was
definitely. The Guardians' defense was amazing.
It was
really good.
I think Matt McGloin proved that he could be a decent backup. He made some plays.
Yeah.
And then the kid Joe Horde Jr., the receiver, he was pretty good.
How about the Colby guy?
Oh yeah, Mikhail McKay was good, and that Colby, like you said,
he was open a couple of times. He kind of threw him under a couple of times. Like he had to wait for the ball. So I thought if he hit him and stride a little bit better, he could have had like another TD. So
and that Jake Powell, the tight end, he made some plays. And the defense in the first half had 2 picks. One was in the end zone. That was a momentum changer at the beginning.
Definitely, because Tampa had like 3-4 turnovers, but most of those turnovers were near the red zone. And then, they had like 4 red zone shots, and they only got like 1.
And I forget
3 points out of the game.
I forget the guy's name. I'm on New York, but the defensive back, number 33, he made 2 deflections.
Oh, definitely. It was good. I'm not sure. I think it was a safety, right? Or a linebacker or something. But he almost undercut 2 picks on them. It was a really good job by him.
But for the Vipers, Aaron Murray, he was okay at best. I mean, he was okay. I mean, I don't understand why in the middle of the game they started going to that Wildcat stuff,
Yeah.
and I think that really messed up the momentum.
I felt
Uh,
like this team was just exactly like LA, like switching their quarterback for no reason in the middle of the time.
I didn't like that
So
very much. And then number 18, the receiver Reese Horn, he was pretty good. And then their tight end, he made a couple big plays. Truskate, and they're all right. They like you said, they made a lot of turnovers.
yes, I felt like if they had less turnovers and they could at least got a field goal on every single red zone they had, they would have been like a touchdown or made a little bit less and I mean a little bit more away from the score, but still be like a closer game, way closer game. The score was on what?
22-3.
Yeah, it should have been maybe like 22-12 or something like that. You gotta make those, like, you're in the end zone, get at least a field goal. Like, don't force the throw in the red zone on 1st and 10. Like, come on. It's common sense. You don't just give it up to your tight end and hope you're gonna catch on a 1st and 10. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta not turn over stuff when you're near there. Because they were moving the ball a little bit, but, like, they gave it
Then
away.
the final game of the day was the St. Louis Battle Hawks versus the Dallas Renegades, and nobody.
Well, first thing was that Dallas had a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was
Landry
gonna say.
Jones was
Landry
hurt.
Jones was
So
hurt.
I'm not sure how Dallas offense is still, because I felt like if they had Landry Jones, they wouldn't just done this 2 yard dump off stuff like literally the whole game, because this guy,
Philip
Phil
Nelson.
Nelson, right? He couldn't hit anything deep, and if he tried to throw the ball deep, it'd be out of bounds. So
And they couldn't really do the running game because no one was going to respect the passing game. So
so
Dunbar and Young weren't really an issue in the game. So I'm going to say, to me, that
I'm
game,
not 100% with Dallas. St. Louis did okay. I wouldn't say they did good
they're
to say, oh, they won Dallas. It was mostly because of the backup quarterback, I felt, but I did they okay. It was
their QB for
definitely.
St. Louis, Jordan Teamu, he was okay. He made some plays with his feet. I mean, he wasn't the greatest with his arm.
I
Uh,
agree.
but their running back, Matt Jones, he made a few plays here and there.
Um,
Um, they had that wide receiver, Alonzo Russell. He made a play here and
but
there.
the defense, I felt like had some good
Made
stuff,
some
like Will
plays.
Hill, and then like that he had the winning pick, and then I thought the QB threw kind of bad on that, but still, he went with a game-winning pick.
And then
Was the score of
they're the
fifteen
they're
nine?
the they're the team with that safety that left college and is going to be going into the NFL draft, which I found kind of interesting. His name was, I think, Kenny Robinson, and I mean it's hard to tell. If Dallas, I think Dallas is a lot better. It's just they didn't have their quarterback.
I agree.
But that game had a lot of flags. That was kind of like one of my least favorites, to be
I
honest with you.
definitely agree with you. Like, if you're gonna do that many flags on that game, then you should have rewind that Houston game and given multiple flags there. Like, those hits were like worse than what
I don't
happened
want no
today
flags. I
on
like
that
the
Dallas
hits. I
game.
thought it was a lot of
No,
good
I
hits.
agree with you. There should be less flags, but this
But
was way too much.
that game was
Flags.
like 15-9. That was probably my least. The Sunday's games weren't to me as good as Saturday's games. It just didn't feel the same amount of excitement. But they were still. It was okay to watch. That crew that did the ESPN one.
It was probably my second
Second
favorite.
favorite. I
Yeah.
like Pat McAfee in there. He was funny. He had a lot of good moments. He made the game more interesting.
He wasn't even on the field.
But he made it really. I thought it was good. I like the graphics better on the ABC and ESPN. How they had the logos.
Definitely,
And
but the over and under in the point spread.
yeah,
So I
I
thought that
like
was kind of
that. Those
cool.
better. With the rules in the XFL, I'm
The
kind
only
of.
thing I kind of hate about any of the rules, it was definitely in the kickoff. I felt like, but I'm just getting used to it. The
Yeah,
kickoff,
I don't. I'm
so.
not crazy about the kickoff.
But that was the worst thing out of the rules, I
Yeah,
think. Cause
the changes. I would say it's not
yeah,
really real, but
because like the
changes.
2 minute was the if you get
Stopping
completion or
clock
whatever up the
stops.
middle, yeah, I like that. So then the running game still can be a factor at this point. Like the clock still stops You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you don't have to have all your timeouts, and you can still get a chance to
Yeah,
score.
exactly. So
I
I
don't.
thought that was
I
good.
also kind of like the 1, 2, or 3 points
Felt like
because
people should have been more riskier and go for two almost all the time. I felt like it's like in between, you
yeah,
know.
but I like
But
that because it's not really just watching another extra point. It's more exciting. Like the
yeah,
game was
definitely,
more
and it
exciting.
makes the games more closer almost. So like 9 points is now
Yeah, I was like, hey,
one
if you're losing
possession game.
by 9, you can still, it was one possession. You can do it
That's what I'm
maybe.
saying. It's
Keeps you in the game
yeah,
more. And so we like the whole 2 minute thing. Like I said, kickoffs are gonna you got to get used to it. And I like the idea of you can't really kick it out of bounds or the other team gets it at your own 45.
or
And
kicking the end zone.
yeah, getting
That'd
at the
be at the
35. So
35.
I didn't mind that kind
I
of
like
stuff.
that.
I just like a
So
lot of the access, and I like seeing how they break down the penalty, if it's a penalty or not, the reviews.
definitely, and it was a way quicker than the NFL.
Oh
Feel
yeah,
like
boom,
it's
boom,
one,
boom,
two,
and
three.
you got your review and you know what's happening. It's not
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
5 minutes. It's like what the hell? Well, and these guys, it was good. It can only get better,
I agree.
and I thought it was
And I
good.
thought this was already good. Like we saw like
I think
decent
it's
matches,
yeah,
especially the Saturday games. I thought it was really good.
yeah, and so we're looking forward this coming Saturday when it's going to be the New York Guardians versus DC
Okay, I
because
got DC. So hopefully,
I
I'm
think,
still hoping for
well,
DC.
we'll make a video about that. We're gonna actually do a video also on our power rankings, what we believe,
Yeah,
or what we felt, and we'll do a video on the preview of the upcoming games as well. We'd like you to remember to like and subscribe us, and hopefully we'll have fun for the whole season. And like I said, it can only get better. It started out already good. You can't ask for anything better. So we could talk to you guys soon. Take care.